Peace, 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 black family. We here in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? We here in Harlem. I'm here with Baba. He just walked into the juice bar. And I'm here doing business for my pops, the late, great Dr. Jack Felder. You know what I'm saying? He's in our hearts, our minds. He's all around us, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here doing the work for him. I did a show today with Dr. Bob Lee this morning. It took me 3 hours to get to the Bronx with all of the train delays because of the possible false flag attacks that were downtown and everything, but that's what my dad would want. That's the work, right? You gotta remember, we African people, and I know a lot of you might not agree with that terminology, but for lack of a better term at this moment, I'm gonna call us African people. We don't die, we multiply. And Dr. Felder has been multiplied. Every time you watch his videos, every time you read his words, every time you listen to somebody talk about him, and remember a lesson that he gave, you're multiplying not only his legacy, but his energy in the universe. Because that can never die, right? Understand, we are here on this earthly plane for a short amount of time, right? And we come here to do work. Dr. Jack Felder, my pops, my dad, my daddy, he did work. He came, he saw, he conquered. In spite of coming from segregated Columbia, South Carolina, in spite of coming from poverty, in spite of his grandfather being a tenant farmer, he survives. In spite of his grandmother, his mother only going to 3rd grade, right? My grandfather, Richard Felder, used to pay 50 cents a week to learn how to read and write. He was born at the end of slavery in 1865. In spite of all of that, he survived. He made the decision to become an educated man, right? And travel all over the world and learn about his people, learn about his heritage, and learn about his culture, and stay real to the game to the end of days and do what he wants to the end of days. So my message is, black people, keep loving yourselves. And I'm just gonna say in the immortal words of Dr. Jack Ngua Felder. Y'all probably never heard that middle name. Y'all hear it this weekend. That's one of his best friends in Kenya that brought him to Africa, James Ngua. So he adopted that name for himself. On his last days, he told me and the black family, he said, stay black, stay strong. And that message is deeper than just the surface message. It means we have to continue to do the work. We got to continue to love one another. We got to continue to build institutions and organizations and be open-minded and put away division, right? I believe in Sanetta's Black News 102 video, maybe the 2nd and 3rd clip of Dr. Felder. My dad was talking about us putting away our petty differences and our petty discrepancies, you know what I'm saying? And that we got to come together as a family, man. You know what I'm saying? We all different heights, we all different shades of black, we all different educational levels, but at the end of the day, we share a common thing, and it's not just our oppression, it's our common culture, right? It's our common cause, right? Y'all know in y'all hearts and y'all minds, right, that you want the best for you and your family and yourself. So let's just make that happen, you know what I'm saying? So stay black, stay strong. I love all of y'all. I see y'all Tuesday. I see y'all on Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? And let's just raise up the spirit. Wednesday is going to be a homegoing ascension. Dr. Felder has ascended to the eldership, to the ancestry, right? To the ancestral realm. We have to celebrate that. You know, I don't want no teary eyes. I want celebration. I want people to be happy. Remember that man, right? And if you knew him, come out. If you didn't know him, but he influenced you, you read his work, be there. Watch the live stream. Watch the YouTube later, because we're going to hold it up. We're going to do what we got to do for ourselves, for our family, and for my father. You know, black family, I love you. Black power and black love. Peace.
Thing about my Dr. Felder, he always used to give me something to read whenever I come for Final Call newspaper, Amsterdam News. He used to look at me and he'd say, brother, he said, you know, some of our people, they think you white. He said, but I understand you got a black mind. Beloved Dr. Felder. Very frigid night out tonight. It looks beautiful out though, but It's getting cold out there. That's why Baba got that caveman blood in it. I have to utilize it some kind of way. Yeah. Trying not to stand right in front of the door. People see this white looking fella in front of the door, they might think they're at the wrong place.
Peace. I want to tell everybody that the spirit of Dr. Felder will live on forever. We ask him that he rest in peace and power, but we continue the work that he was so committed to. The display of love and affection in there is because that's the love and affection he had for his people. He spoke truth to power. He was an uncompromising voice in our movement, and he's one of those rare people that will be sorely missed because he's a fixture in our movement. Anytime we have programs, Dr. Felder was there with his books speaking truth to power. Don't celebrate them white holidays now. He warned us, no more white capitalist holidays. Celebrate the holidays that celebrate you and your liberation. Rest in peace and power, Dr. Jack Felder.
Peace, peace, peace to the people. You know, I have great honors to actually be here to give my brother reverence and, you know, speak about the things that he have done. His spirit will never die because of the work that he has completed and done. And his work will constantly be embedded in my mind and in my spirit and in my soul, where I can activate this information about AIDS and other different knowledges that he have gave me. I have sat down with this brother and actually have dialogue with him on different things that I needed in my soldier and helping my people be successful in this evil world of North America that we live in. You know what I'm saying?
Red and blue.
Peace.
Just a quick word about our beloved Dr. Felder.
When it comes to integrity on 125th Street, he was one of the pillars. He was a true elder. He kept the integrity of that spot where we're at and other places, but definitely where we built up, you know, that conscious circle that everybody's familiar with. A large part of that had to do with Doc, the people who were attracted, who came to him. He's represented, like they say, like you said, a library burned to the ground. You know what I'm saying? One of our great ancestors. So yeah, Doc doesn't get the credit for being the glue of that environment that held a lot of things together. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a camera guy. We always could look to see what eldership, responsible eldership looked like. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely a force to be reckoned with. He will be missed, a pillar in our community, a library, a living legend, you know what I'm saying? An icon that's, you know, way larger than the stature that, you know, is normally attributed to such a person, because people only know people from these videos. To know the elder, you know what I'm saying? To be in the presence of the elder is to know, you know what I'm saying, the iconic status, the elder represents, and still will be with us, you know what I'm saying? This is somebody that we will always carry with us in our hearts in our lifetime. Alright? Peace, love, and light.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Red.
Right.
Yeah, from Martin on 125th, he's looked after me, him and his son, Nova. So I do give thanks, you know. And the one thing that he's always done was to listen to us reason. Man of very few words. He always looked, observed, listened to what we were saying, listened how we were reasoning, guide us and put us on the right track, you know. So I do give thanks that he welcomed me. If I needed a table, he would always give me a table and say, you know, set up right here. You know, so and one thing I learned from how the elder lived, he teach us like to say, live good and see God in yourself, you know, and do good, you know. So therefore I give thanks unto, Elder Felder and the family, and to all the crew on 125th, you know. And BABATV is out there doing all the works. A man of clean heart and a pure heart, man. Thanks, Baba. Blessed.
Peace, love, and happiness. I've been Melchizedek Supreme Shabazz Allah, Universal High Priest of the Nation of Islam on earth and in the universe. I'm here with my conscious, black conscious family, okay? We're here to pay our respects to Dr. Jack Felder, a legend, a pioneer, okay? An uplifter, a motivator, okay? An inspirational brother, all right? I've known him for over 30 years. He's been sharing his wisdom with me for over 30 years. And I'm telling you, hey, as far as I'm concerned, he's always here because of what I receive from him. He's with me. And anytime I want to see him physically, all I got to do is go look in the mirror because his knowledge, wisdom, understanding is so powerful and so divine, it takes on shape, form, and fashion to all those that take it in their spiritual, their mental, and their physical. Okay? The place is packed. And all those that knew him and not care, you should be ashamed of yourself because there's no excuses for certain things. Certain things you don't make no excuses for, okay? You don't come up with some weak excuse about this or that when it comes to a pioneer like Dr. Jack Felder, who gave his life, his whole life, uplifting, sharing his knowledge, sharing his wisdom to his people, okay, and motivating them in the right direction, okay? And he wasn't out here just in the sunshine. He's out here in the snow, the cold, the rain, okay? Rain, hail, snow, earthquake, whatever the temperature was or the climate weather was, Dr. Felder was out here sharing his wisdom with the people. You got a whole lot of these leaders out there. Only time they want to make a lecture is when they're in the house, in a church, or in a mosque. But they don't come out in the street. Okay, you gotta come on 120th. You don't get your approval unless you come to 125th Street. When you come to 125th Street, the Valley of the Gods, you got to know what you're talking about.
Peace to the gods and earths. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters. Peace to Brother Baba. Love you much, bro. Good to see you. Once again, also to my brother Melchizedek. This is one of the other elders that I love dearly, and my circle has gotten so small these days because the elders are leaving. So it's truly an emotional time for me. But I want to speak about Dr. Jack Felder. And as Brother Melchizedek said, that we are the treasures that he accumulated over the years. I've known Dr. Felder for a lot of years, and the man that I was then, I'm not the man today. And I thank the elders for that. There's a scripture that always comes to me when it comes to the passing of the great ones, and it says, "Say ye not that they are dead, for you perceive them not." He is not gone from us. He is still in us. He dwells within us, like the God said. Our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we got from him are a part of us. It is an intricate part of us now. So we walk the earth with Dr. Felder. He's with us. And I thank you all. I thank you all for the elders that I've surrounded myself with over the years. And man, this is the closing of an era. You will never see this like again. And those who knew Dr. Felder and his constituents, we've been blessed, bro, more than most people on this planet. And we need to hold that dear, and we need to keep pushing forward the legacy that these men have left us. And the young, you guys need to get on board. You need to jump on these shoulders here and carry on the work. My heart goes out to the family. This has galvanized me once again to step back into the field. You know, that the work isn't done. And we need to make sure that the legacy of these men that they put their whole lives, their whole beings into this work of upliftment and empowerment of people. And I walked on Dr. Jack Felder and the other elders that I hold dear to me. I've never been turned away for anything. I've always been fed the greatest of things. Not money, not food, but that which keeps you moving and motivated in the earth and keeps you on the righteous side of things. Dr. Jack Felder, like he said, over 40 years was on these streets, and the streets of Harlem University. You didn't get your stamp of approval as a scholar or an elder until you was able to show forth and prove your power, your words, on these streets, your hika, your magic, your power of words had to hold some weight on these streets because we were the heavy hitters out here. And you had to cut your teeth at steel sharpen steel. He was the stone that we sharpened our swords on. The other elder, the triple black here, Dr. Melchizedek was another one. We sharpened our swords on them as they were the stone, we were the swords. And to this day, trust me, I am one to contend with when it comes to these things here. And I've always been on the line, willing and ready to fight for what we need in these streets as black folk. And Dr. Felder was one of those types that kept us galvanized and moving and kept the eye on the prize and not to divert and turn upon one another. But there's been many a time where those tendencies rise up in us where we become that which we wasn't supposed to be. And I try to put that in a nutshell, not to go too far with it. But he was one of the great civilizers out here. And you know, peace and love to that. And I just wanted to kind of put that back out there again. And let's not forget the doctor, and let's carry on his work. Peace.
Okay. What made Dr. Felder so extraordinary and above a lot of the other leaders that we're supposed to have? He was out on the highway, in the byway with the grassroots. See, he wasn't in the house. He wasn't behind closed doors, okay? And he wasn't in no office. He was out here in the street, in the sun, the rain, the cold, and the snow, sharing his wisdom with the young generation. Yes. And he laid a platform, on 125th Street, okay, where you don't get no approval unless you come to 125th Street. Okay. If you haven't made your appearance on 125th Street, you know, the Valley of the Gods, where gods are made, where gods are developed, and where gods reign, you ain't got your approval. And everybody that got where they are today, trust me, you check their record, they got their approval from 125th Street. I say. You have to survive the mind, because the giants are minds. There is no knowledge in the world. Listen to this. No knowledge in the world, you understand, that can surpass the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and the experience of the gods here in the New York area. Let's be real, okay? And all the gods that walked the streets of 125th Street, they escalated to the heights of God, and that's why they'll always be remembered and never be forgotten, because they are the true and living God. And anytime you see positiveness, anytime you see determination, anytime you see motivation, elevation, whatever goodness you see coming out of a young brother or a black man in general, or even a black woman or a young black sister, trust me, they got that from, they was touched by a living God like a Jack Felder. Okay?
Yes. Peace. Thank you for sharing those powerful words. I think a lot of times people don't realize that the kind of energy Dr. Felder was putting on the front line, you know, that university, that library, those images, people from around the world would stop at that gate to look at all of the documentation that they would have up, and they would be puzzled, even spellbound, that these things were available, but they weren't commonly available in the regular media. Dr. Felder was always seeking new sources of information. He even subscribed to some radical publications that he said, hey, you know, you got to know what your enemy's writing. You got to know what they're saying. And how else do you do that if you don't read their material? You know, he was a very, very thoughtful and strategic man. And again, an orthodox Pan-Africanist. Way back when it wasn't popular, he stood that ground. And he's from the nationalist community, and we've seen nationalists falling in and just coming to pay this man his homage. The elder I spoke with earlier, we kind of got off into health, was one of the brothers that I see soldier on the front line, just as Dr. Felder, especially as a vendor. The vendor grind is a real grind for a middle-aged younger man. Dr. Felder in his 70s would brave the elements. Yes, there's a car to pop into for a little while to heat your bones, but when you have a customer, you got to get out and engage them. And to his last days, he was coming out and giving his thoughts, his insights, his interaction. You didn't even have to purchase anything from that elder, and he would still give you those gems. that was just his purpose. He was a continuous teacher, instructor, guide. So that's what we've lost in the losing of this great elder, Dr. Jack Felder. I'm going to say it again. I know you're tired of hearing me saying it, but the African proverb, when the elder transitions, it's like a library burning down. I say it's like 5 libraries burning down when we lost Dr. Jack Felder.
Just to say a few words about Dr. Jack Felder. I know that there are those of us who will feel sorrow, who will feel that something has been taken from us, that we have lost something. And I just have to say that that is the wrong way to look at this. Dr. Felder was one of our greatest warrior scholars, a man of science. And we know that science is that thing that is often lacking in our community, that there's a divide between those who have degrees in the basic sciences and those who have degrees in other fields and those who are not studied. And we always strive to get our people to actually go to do basic research. Well, Dr. Felder had a doctorate in biochemistry. I can't tell you how few people have doctorates in that kind of field. And to recognize what he did, how he did it, is not for us to be sorrowful. To recognize that this dear brother can do more for us as an ancestor than he could ever do for us as an elder is not to be sorrowful. For us to recognize that his model of commitment to our people and to our community for the decades that he was a fixture on 125th Street is a reason for us not to be sorrowful. So I am here blessed to be able to celebrate the wonderful long life of this powerful, powerful ancestor. And I just have to say to you, family, don't feel sorrow. Be solaced in the fact that the good fight was won. And that the good fight is a fight that we all need to fight. His model of rectitude, his model of commitment is something that we all need to follow. So, family, don't be sorrowful for this wonderful, wonderful ancestor and with all the things that he's done. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Good seeing you. How you doing? All right.